They're rubbing a lot of money on it in New England, where, and this has been the subtext, and it's really not even all that sub. The question of whether or not Bill Belichick did a crappy job in the final years of his time there putting together the roster. And I know last year, anytime somebody signed an extension with the Patriots, I'd hear from the pro-Belichick crowd, hey, Bill put together a pretty good roster. And then every time they'd get rid of somebody, the anti-Belichick crowd, see, he sucked as a GM. But this spending spree from yesterday is an indictment of the quality of the contents of the cupboard that Bill Belichick left behind.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can look at the New England Patriots and look at it and go, oh, wow, he left Gerard Mayo and Mike Vrabel just a Van Gogh painting of a roster here. Whoa, absolutely not. Now, Belichick, he's a great coach, and he could get more out of maybe some of these rosters than anybody ever in the history of football. But there's no denying this. They needed a refresh and upgrade everywhere. And we talked about it a lot last year. Yeah, there's problems with their roster, and they killed it yesterday. And killed it, I don't think it was like dumb money by any sense of the imagination. Milton Williams, that's kind of what I thought he would get right from the get-go. As soon as the season was over, it was like, he's going to get north of 20. He's going there. He's what everybody in football wants right now. Another guy that, if we're playing the Ravens, he can play D-end. If we're playing another team, he can play D-tackle. He can play everything on the defensive line. Mike Vrabel's going to love that. He of course, was taught in football by Bill Belichick, who loved those type of football players. So that's a great signing there by the New England Patriots, and gets their D-line back on track. Robert Spillane, a middle linebacker, not a huge name, not a superstar, but never has to come off the field. He runs well. He's going to be able to orchestrate all the things in the Vrabel defense and everything there as far as being the quarterback. Love that. Oh, they need a corner. Carlton Davis. Whoa. You talk about Carlton Davis now with Christian Gonzalez, who was an all-pro, and Marcus Jones at nickelback. Damn, that's a good three right there. That allows them to play man-to-man, and now Vrabel can use all those big dudes in the front seven to stop Lamar Jackson in the quarterback design run and everything like that. So I like the plan. Elliott Wolf, Mike Vrabel so far really been doing good stuff. And I didn't even bring up Harold Landry, who's still an awesome edge pass rusher that Vrabel knows and was within Tennessee that they got over the weekend. So those three right there on the defensive side of the ball, Mike, I know just really changed things and how they look on paper. That's for sure.
The interesting move to me, because the quarterback position is what makes the NFL go round, Josh Dobbs will be joining his 9th team. And what attracted Mike Vrabel to Josh Dobbs, one of those stops was a very limited 2-game experience with the Titans in 2022. That was when Malik Willis was a rookie, and they were playing Malik Willis. And remember, we didn't think that Mike Vrabel was all that enamored with Malik Willis. They got Dobbs off of the Lions practice squad. He played a Thursday night game against the Cowboys. He played well under the circumstances. The Cowboys won it.
Right.
And then it came down to a Week 18 AFC South championship game on a Saturday night. I think it was the first year they carved out those Saturday games in Week 18. And it was Jaguars-Titans for the division title. And Vrabel went with Josh Dobbs over Malik Willis. They didn't win, but that just showed you the faith that Vrabel had. And look at how he played when he didn't have time to prepare. Now he comes in, hasn't worked with Josh McDaniels previously, but this is a guy who's extremely smart. We know he's a rocket scientist, literally, and now he goes to New England as the replacement for Jacoby Brissett. And then you've also got Joe Milton on the roster. And I know there's been some noise about whether or not he's going to get traded. I mean, he's got a ton of potential.
Yeah.
And he's a great insurance policy to keep around. You know, as you said during the break when we were talking about it, there's a chance he's too good.
Yes. I think that's a little bit of the problem. I think he does have the eye of certain people in football, as to what you're saying there, as like a potential guy, right? We saw at the end of the season. We saw in the preseason. There's throws and plays where you go, well, there ain't that many guys in football that can throw the ball like that. Now, he's raw and all of that, yes, but that was a little weird to me. Oh, wait, Josh Dobbs? I mean, it's Joe Milton's second year. He can't be the backup? All right, so I understand it. Josh Jacobs' experience, knows an offense, does all that, but it definitely made me think of maybe they might try to offload Joe Milton just so they don't have to worry and cause any issues in training camp, whatever, about, man, Joe Milton's playing really good or he looks really awesome and Drake May's been a little off and all that crap, right? You squash that, and we know some teams don't like that, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him get moved at some point. I wouldn't.
The offensive coordinator of the Patriots last year was Alex Van Pelt. You know where Alex Van Pelt's working right now?
Where is it right now?
Let me ask you this. I'll ask it a different way.
Yeah.
What is the team that currently has a clear answer at quarterback but doesn't have an answer at quarterback beyond this year?
Ooh, a team that doesn't have a quarterback that does have a
doesn't have a clear answer beyond this year. Has a clear answer for now, recently resolved, but doesn't have a clear answer beyond this year.
I don't know. Who is it?
The Rams.
Oh, duh.
Alex Van Pelt is a senior offensive assistant with the Rams.
Gotcha.
If anybody in the NFL knows Joe Milton, it's Alex Van Pelt.
Definitely. I hear you.
And he's with Sean McVay.
Right. That's interesting, Mike. And they got Jimmy Garoppolo. They re-signed as the backup, so you don't need Milton to be the backup right now, but you could groom him and bring him along. I hear you there. Listen, Joe Milton would certainly be one of a guy I'd take a chance on as far as like, hey, maybe he could be something for us in the near future. Because, again, there are some physical ability and skills there where you look at it and go, that's rare. There's not too many people in the league or in the history of the league that can do some of the things that he can do.
They want to make themselves into super geniuses by turning Stetson Bennett into something because they reached for him in round 4 a couple of years ago. I think they probably realize Bennett's not going to be the guy long term. This is just a way, and it just gives Sean McVay and Les Snead insight that they're not going to get anywhere else because they hired the guy who worked last year as the offensive coordinator for Joe Milton. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.